Hello, and welcome in my healthy, wealthy family. How are we tonight, Thursday night? Yes, we're back with another special episode of how to develop a wealthy mindset. So, this is part two. If you have not seen part one, I put a link to that in the description section so that you can go there and catch up. So, if you're here again for part two of how to build a wealth mindset, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome in. We're all about building true wealth. True wealth, as in not just material wealth. Material wealth is absolutely important. We do not deny that, we embrace it. But we also deal with the spiritual side of wealth, the metaphysical side of wealth. So, tonight, as we do every Thursday night and some Saturdays, we're here to speak on different principles that will help you to develop a wealthy, healthy mindset. So we have again with us another special guest. Well, not another, but our special guest who's returning with us to share some more beautiful nuggets on how to develop a wealthy mindset. Help me to welcome our brother, my brother, your brother, Mr. Tim. Welcome in, my brother. Thank you for being here with us again.
How are you doing today, Miss CharlineHeal?
I'm doing dynamic. I'm just so excited and happy that you take time out of your schedule. I know you're so busy and to come and to share with the community. This is a great way of just giving back. I really truly appreciate you for everything that you do for your community here and in your own community on your channel. Guys, he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram. I have all his contact information in the description box. Make sure you follow him. If you're looking to develop a wealthy mindset, understand investing and all that good jazz, go over to Tim's channel. Tim, you just if you want, you could just remind everyone who you are, a little bit about you. I'll give you a spotlight.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome everyone in the chat. My name is Tim, also known as the Intentional Millionaire. And what I do on my channel is we teach financial concepts. In the process, we mentor, coach individuals how you could start your $1 million portfolio. But we also talk about two major areas as well. Is first one being how to make sure you believe that you're supposed to be wealthy and that you can make more income. And then the next thing is, how do you execute on the financial products and the financial vehicles that's available to you? The reason how I got on the YouTube is because I bring 14 years of experience in the financial space, licensed as with a Series 6, 63, and 26, also looking to get my Series 65. So that's what I do on my channel. And one of the goals and the things that I always want to do is make sure that I bring enough value and bring something that you can take away that you can implement and utilize in your daily financial journey.
Excellent. Oh, my camera is shaking here. Okay, now I'm steady. So, thank you for that amazing reintroduction.
Mhm.
Everyone in the chat, welcome in. Everyone coming after, welcome in. We're just going to jump right into it. I don't know how you want to do it. If you want to recap what you did the last time, what you said the last time, or if you just want to jump right in and continue on. Your call.
I can recap real quick. Let me make sure.
He's so
So
generous.
yeah, so I do a quick recap. So the first time we talked about the financial mindset, and we talked about four major areas. When we talked about that was the first one being aware of your money habits, and then making sure you pay attention to triple S's, which was spending, saving, and salary. And the bonus one was being stingy, because sometimes we have to understand that we have to fill our own plate so then we could be fruitful and provide other people with a plate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing. And then the next thing is deprogram and then reprogram, so you can really understand our money background and how we grew up, and the conversations we heard about money has some level of effect on our emotional aspect with money. So we have to deprogram some of those things that may not be conducive to where you want to go. Then we have to
Mm-hmm.
reprogram it with more better, more up to date, more evolutionary information. Then the third point was we talked about the value of money, because some people think that money is bad, And some people think money is the root of all evil, when in essence, money just exposes what a person's heart truly is
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to the social aspect of how they do things. So we talked about that. Then the last thing is we talked about how you need to change the mindset by taking action, because if you don't take action, it's just the idea. It's just a feel good. It's just a affirmation with no actual work behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So we made sure that we ultimately, doing all 4 points, we kind of compared it to a financial tree, because the key to finances is when you start on some very great soil, so that way the seed can be germinated, then it turns from a seed to a tree, and then the tree bear the fruits, which we are the fruits of that tree. So
Exactly.
that's kind of what we talked about in part one. And in part two, we're just going to dive a little bit deeper from the
Deep dive,
standpoint.
y'all. Get ready, everyone. Just a second.
Mhm.
Get your notepads, get your pen, because you're gonna want to take notes. I always come back and take notes after because I can't do it now. But let me tell you, Tim always shared great information. So get your notepad and start writing. He's gonna drop a lot of great information for you. I'm sorry, Tim. Go ahead. I just gotta get the people ready.
Oh no, you good. So I say first thing is we just gonna hop right into it. So you all, the thing about money that I think is just so great and phenomenal is money has no real value. Money doesn't matter where you come from, where your background is. Money doesn't matter what your education level is. It just really boils down to how do you go out and start some of the things that I'm going to talk about today, so you can have money, but then if you're a good person, you could do more great and beautiful things for other people and the people you love and care about with the money. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we're going to jump right into it. Point number one is to start your wealthy mindset is, and I talked about this a little bit on the last time, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. Is the first thing is you have to believe that money is for you. You have to believe that you could be wealthy. You have to believe that if you at a job that you don't necessarily like the job, you have to believe, if not feel like you're stuck, but believe that now is your time. You may have seen or witnessed or saw other people that, they came up, got a great job, they went back to school, got a more advanced education. They went and got certified in some type of certification, got some new skills. So you have to first believe it also is for you. It's somewhere that has your name on it, that you now can be in a better financial situation. Now, I'm not saying that it's all about money. I'm just saying that you have to believe that whatever you want, whether it be money, whether it be spiritual, financial, mental, or health, whatever you want, you have to believe that it's for you, so you can start putting the work behind it, the process behind it, the actions behind it, so it can become a reality. And too many times when we think about belief is, we believe it and we feel good about other people, but we don't necessarily sometimes do it for ourselves. That's the pro and the con of being a good person and having a big heart. And the challenge of that is, though, it could be draining for you, because at some point you realize that you're supposed to deserve and you want just as much as anybody else. So I think that's one. The next thing is, I think we got to think about it.
Wait. We're not going to just roll like that. You just dropped some serious nuggets. And, people in the chat are like, yeah, true, facts. Like, so true. I mean, like, yeah. And it's like you said earlier, basically, you can't pour out from an empty cup. And, you want to be a little, what was the word? Stingy, selfish. There's nothing wrong. A lot of times we think of selfish as negative, and not necessarily. And I think, yeah, one of my guests that I had on CharlineHeal, he mentioned that to me. And, I love when I just get something new, like a new awareness. And like, you know what? He's right. There's nothing wrong with being selfish in a positive way. You got to take care of you first. Brother, thank you. Keep dropping these nuggets. Yes.
So and I give you an example to that. So that's that's how I'm able to start a YouTube and be able to give great information, real examples, real information,
Let me tell you.
statistically backed information, is because I got myself in a position
Yes,
where regardless of what happened, I can still give and it don't take nothing from my own table.
exactly.
But now I have a smorgasbord of people that I also brought up.
Mm.
So but I would not been able to be in position to do that if I didn't get myself, because part of my testimony is my own journey that nobody can dispute. Regardless if they agree with the method or the path I'm talking to, they can't dispute my personal, from where I started, not having much, being put out. Remember being young, being put out. My dad was always there, but he wasn't the best with money. He made money, but he wasn't the best with money. Yeah. So witnessing all that, regardless of what somebody say, they can't dispute my testimony.
Exactly. And I just gotta say, guys, I love his channel. Every time I go over there, sometimes I wish I had more time to just go over there and dive in and to just get all the rich information he's sharing. It's incredible. It's like a library of information and knowledge. So go over to his channel, subscribe. Thank you. I just had to say that. I'm just in awe with the information you share. It's right up my alley. Right up my alley. Go ahead, my brother.
Yep. So that's the next one. So anybody got any questions on what I shared so far? Definitely put a Q in front of it. That drop your question down in the chat. We'll make sure we get an answer, and you can pretty much ask me anything. And if I have the answer, we'll definitely bring you the best. And if I don't have the answer, we'll take a note of it, and I'll look at getting the answer. I get with somebody that has the answer. But the next thing is point number 2. So point number 2 is we got to make sure that we have a network, because your network is so important. The thing about your network is this is the gauge that can really cause you to accelerate through a lot of the landmines faster. So if you already have somebody walk the walk already for you, and all you have to do is follow, then that makes the journey so much easier, so much better, and so much faster. Now, it makes the journey easier, but it doesn't make the process easier. The process still gonna be hard. Why is that? It's not supposed to be easy. The best things if you want the best outcome, it normally requires some level of us getting uncomfortable to get the results we're looking for. So we have to now build a network of people that's moving in the same direction that we want to go. Now, why is this so important? Because your network is going to bring you so much value that you may not be able to get by yourself. So it's so important to understand why no island was ever built with one man or one woman. It had to be a collective group to build together. And that's why having a network is so important. And then the great thing about a network also is when you have like minds working in unison, it causes the vision to be bigger, better, more effective and efficient. I like to say a network bring the 3 C's. It make it clear, crisp, and concise on what you're trying to do. So that's why it's so critical. You got to have a network. If you don't have one now, at the end, I'm going to come back. I'm going to go through the points, but I'm going to tell you what you can do in the 4 areas that I'm going to cover. I'm going to tell you what you can do to start working in that direction, start moving the ball up the court. Okay. So that's network. So that's point number 2. So Charlene, what you have for me on network?
Okay, so it looks like we got some questions in the chat. So that's what I got for you. And you know what? Before we get to the questions, I could not agree more. My mom used to say, sorry, 1 second. Okay, there we go. I was pushing the wrong button on my phone. My mom used to say growing up, show me your company and I tell you who you be. And it's absolutely true. She was just telling us, if you mix with a certain type of people, you become just like them. Because whether we believe it or not, this is the fact. your network, the people that you're around, they help to program your mindsets. If you're looking to get into a wealth mindset, you don't want to be around, not that you don't love them or care for them, but you have to step out to the people that are still in the poverty mindset, because you're not going to be able to help them and they're not going to be able to help you, and nobody's going to be moving forward. That's just my take on it. Like, I agree with Tim. Your network is so, so important. And you might find that once you get to a certain group of people, then after a while you evolve from that group. And it's okay. You got what you needed, you gave what you needed to give, and then you move forward from there, because you're always evolving. You don't want to stay, flat. You're not here for that. You always want to keep evolving. Not that you think you're better than anyone. You're not. We're all the same. But your destiny, sorry, is calling you to different levels, and you have to move with it. Move with the God within you. And that said, we're going to get to, I think I saw 2 or 3 questions. Here it is. What is your net worth? Is that the same as your net worth? Or if not, what's the difference? Did you get that? I read that kind of message.
Yeah, right. That's right. So your network is, what I'm referring to is the group of people and the people that you have that you can consult with, talk to, send emails, send text messages, send Instagram DMs, that can guide you on what are you trying to do financially. Whether it be you want to, get a new job, you want to possibly change professions, you want to eventually get into real estate. Maybe you want to leverage your 401k for something. Maybe you want to get a Roth IRA. Your network is going to be able to guide you on your journey as it relates to what you have individually that you want to do financially. Now, the thing about your network is it could start with just books. For me, it started with just books because during the time, the social media wasn't as large as it is now, and also during that time the internet was dial-up. so I mean, that's when you used to get the AOL and the net zero disc in the mail.
I was just watching the episode of Murder, She Wrote when computers was a new thing. She was like, oh, and the message goes through the phone line, and I was like, wow, I forgot how far we came.
Right. And when you used to get on dial-up, as soon as you get a phone call while you're on the internet, it'll knock you offline. You got to start all over.
What was the AOL thing? What did it used to say? That when the little guy was running, it would say something. Oh my God, I forgot.
God, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was when the little blue man was running like
that. Yeah. Does anyone in the chat remember?
What did it say? It'll come to me. What did it say? That's good.
Welcome in, everyone that's coming in tonight. We're talking about how to develop a wealthy mindset. This is part 2. If you have not seen part 1, you need to check it out. I put that link in the description section, and I will also pin it in the comment after this live stream ends. Thank you for being here. We're all about wealth in every area of your life. So I think you were done answering that question, right?
Well, that was the first part. So I was going to say, he or she also asked, what was the difference? Well, the difference is the net worth is based off of my actual individual portfolio. And my portfolio is anything that includes assets that generate and make you money as time goes on. And I put a lot of my money into assets versus liabilities. So basically what that means is I carry 0 credit card debt. And the only debt that I have is mortgages because I have rental properties. But I make positive cash flow. I make positive cash flow on all my rentals, and I have equity in my rentals. And then I have investment portfolios also, and I also have a business. So those are some of the different things when I say that equates to your net worth. Now, your network is an extension of your net worth, because your net worth will grow the more people you have part of your network that has high net worth. You follow me? So for example, I use my mentors. My mentors, when I met them, they had about a $2 to $3 million portfolio at the time is probably now I'm worth about almost 10 million. Well, because of me associating with them, that's how I would solidify where my net worth is at. And now I got a bigger goal because my net worth now is 17 million. So because of that, and because my network is in a higher bracket than me, then that allowed me to force my net worth to match in that and go in that direction, if that makes sense. So there's two separate things, but they also can correlate together because one is more tangible, meaning people, ideas, and then one is more intangible, meaning your assets that relates directly to you, the individual, or your business if you have a business.
Yeah,
that's a great question.
Yeah, I actually think that was one of the best explanations I've heard. I love how you compared it and even add that, they could correlate. That's really good. I forgot what I was going to say in the moment you were saying something very valuable. Oh, I was going to say, guys, if you're really listening, he brought up a really solid point that you want to be in a group that may be on a higher vibration than you. When I say that, like he was talking, for example, the network of the people that he surrounds himself with is higher than his. So it kind of pushes him to get to that level. You don't want to be the smartest person in the group. Because if you're the smartest person in the group, what are the others going to teach you? So let go of your ego. Be there to learn, to observe, to share, to give, of course, but to get what you need to get from the group of people you're surrounded with, okay? Right. Just a little tip that I picked up based on what he said. Okay, so the next question was, I think you probably are going to cover this when you, because you did mention that you're going to get into that.
Playtime, I'm going to cover that here shortly. I got 2 more points, and then I'm going to go to action things that we can do, because I always want to give action. Absolutely. And you just brought up a great point. So what I do is basically I just surround myself at higher levels than myself. I gather information, I implement, take action, strategize, implement, execute. Then I take, and after I implement and execute, I get a sound idea and a sound understanding of what is going on. Then I bring it and share it with others. That's pretty much how I operate. I'm kind of like the person in between to bridge that gap. Because the thing is, sometimes we think just because a person is up here, it has no correlation to us. But the reality is, it's all based on perspective. They really doing some of the same stuff we could do, just at a higher level, because they may have a higher net worth, higher income, or whatever the case may be. But that's how you get there, by mimicking what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I always say, and the key thing to take away to your network, but I get to that. I don't want to jump ahead.
Okay.
I want to jump ahead.
All right. So we did 1, 2, and we're going to jump into 3.
Yep, we're going to jump into 3. So then point number 3 is you want to make sure that you focus on skills. Why you need to focus on skills is because your skills is going to be the thing that's going to allow you to generate income. Now, income is going to be a correlation to wealth, because when you feel better, you're doing better, then you can become better. Now, is that for everyone? No. But it's been statistically proven, it's been stats shown, it's been surveys done that when a person is sound for themselves, where they can fully provide for their own family, and they don't have to take nothing from their table, and then they can help someone else. The surveys has proven those people are most of the time the happiest. Why? It's because they feel like they can give and give generously, and it has no impact on their own household. So your skills are so important. The great thing about skills is it don't matter where you at. It's just a matter of you got to put your head down and learn something new, or go study something you didn't necessarily either know about, or you never got around to it, or you was fearful of doing it, but now it's the time to let's get it done. The reason why skill is so important, because like right now we're in a recession. And if you have the skills, you can still generate money through your own skills. A lot of us have talents that we have not monetized. But I want to say that I think we should monetize our skills. And you may not necessarily want to be this big business person like the next Apple, but you at least want to be able, if you need to turn it on to make extra money, you can do that. Why is this so critical? Because being in a recession, the downside of that is jobs lay off. They have layoffs. We don't know when that's going to be or who that can be too. But if you have skills where you can still generate income to be able to feed your family, then you won't get so distraught, or you won't be in survival mode and make probably not the best decision, or start taking money out your retirement, things like that, because you didn't have the necessary income. Now, I'm not saying that those situations do not happen. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for us to get prepared so we could be more proactive versus reactive. And the great thing is, I did do a video on my channel of, I did the 5 top skills you can do if you decide to go the college route. And I did the 5 top skills you could decide to do with just a GED out of high school. And all of them pay over $60-some thousand. So it's just a matter of whichever path you choose. And then you still have business, but I just did the traditional methods where most people fall at, and that's working a job, being an employee. But whichever path you choose is a way for you to go out and get skills, get certified so you can make money. So that's another one, is having skills. And then Charlene, anything you want to touch it with on that?
Yeah. Before we do though, that's a video that I actually saw and enjoyed, and I appreciate it so much. So I'm asking if there's any mods in the chat, if you could just please drop the link to that video. Just go to Tim's channel. It shouldn't be too far down, because I think it was just a week or two ago maybe you did it.
I don't remember.
I don't think it was that long ago. I feel like I just saw it. Or is it in any particular playlist?
I could tell you here shortly. Give me a second. Do we got any questions while we're taking questions? I'll get that up and I'll let you know.
All right. I'll do solo while you look for that. Tim is amazing, guys. You just have to go over to his channel. He's a wealth of information and knowledge, and he keeps it real. He's so sincere, down to earth. I just love his honesty and his vibrations. Okay, so the question here, I saw a question somewhere. Here we go. I appreciate this. Oh, how do I figure out my skills? You let me know when you're ready, okay, Tim, and I'll bring you back up.
Okay. Give me a few minutes, and I think I got it. I got it right here. So it's called Gen Z Do This: High Income Skills to Combat the Recession.
And how far down? Like, where would they have to
It was streamed a month ago, actually.
God, yo, I'm telling you,
time is going fast.
Yeah, my concept of time sometimes, I kid you not. I swear I live on a different vibration sometimes. Like, I would think it's yesterday, but it was months ago. It's like, I don't know. It must be something with meditating or something, that I swear to you. And I don't do it on purpose. Like, so much time would pass by in the outside world, but in my world, it just looked like it just happened. But okay. All right, Ma, so if you could drop that for me, I would appreciate it. So we're talking about skills, and I'm amazing is asking, how do I figure out my skills and get money? But before we answer that, just to endorse what Tim was saying, you know, he's right. And especially, if anything, I feel like the pandemic should teach us all a lesson that we need to be ready for anything. We need multiple sources of income. We need to make sure that we can take care of ourselves. And I always encourage people, grow your own food. Grow your own food. You have the space, grow your food. Be ready. Depend on yourself. Build a community with your family, your friends, your neighbors, whoever you got, come together. Because let's be honest, you know, a lot of us don't have a lot of space. So use what you have and come together in a community where, okay, maybe somebody could do some squash, somebody can do some other thing, I don't know, let's say okras or something, so that, you know, everybody's doing something, is contributing. So just in case there's no food supply coming in, there's a shortage, you're ready. Because remember, cash forget about it. That's a piece of paper. And it may not have value for long. We don't know what's going to happen. So you want to be ready. Provide for yourself as best as you can. If you can get a water system going where you're relying on yourself. And I know this is not what we're covering tonight, but I'm just saying, hey, be ready, financially ready, and you want to invest in different types of assets. Like I believe they said gold is a really good asset to invest in because it's like material from the earth, and you can't go wrong. But I'm not an investor. Research that for yourself. I don't know if Tim has something to say on that, but let me stick with the topic and get back to the question. How do I figure out my skills and get money from it?
All right. So how you figure out your skills? Figure out what you like to do. And I like to say it's anything that you love to do that you'll do it for free. And if I consider that a skill, because that means that you probably doing it because you enjoy doing it. Now, the thing is, you have to sharpen the saw, meaning because this is a general question, but I'm just trying to give you a general perspective because I got it. If I was the one-on-one, I would kind of pin it down to something niche. But for most people, they have skills or something they enjoy doing that they really good at. Now I would sit back and say, whatever that may be, then you got to ask yourself, is it a market for it? Now, how do you find out if it's a market for it? Well, you start asking friends, family members, people on Facebook, people on social media, would they be willing to spend money on this service? So you what you basically doing, you surveying the market before you go to market. And if you have people that say, yeah, I'm willing to do that, I'm willing to pay X amount for this, for that, whatever the case may be, then that right there tells you that you have something that maybe could be marketable. Then you need to either build it or provide that service, whatever it may be, and then you monetize it. Meaning you go get you a legal LLC, you get you a tax ID number, so that way you could be legal from the right standpoint, and it looks professional, because I'm one that we do got to be professionals when we look into market a service, so that way people take us serious, because the more professional we are, the more people take it serious and they support you. But also you'll be surprised, some of your best people that's going to become part of your network will be one of your clients. Believe it or not. They're going to be the quality, silent, consistent client, a consistent person. And before you know it, they're going to start really sharing a lot of information. You're going to realize that they're actually going to be part of your network. So that's the reason why you want to kind of make sure you at least have it professional. Another thing is if you have skills, or let's just say you're looking at a profession. So let's just say you want to go into, you want to be an electrician. Well, if you want to be an electrician, then you have to get certified. But the great thing is you can still work as an electrician helper, not having the certification yet. So now you get a chance to tap into the process, the understanding. Yeah, you're not gonna make as much money, but now you get the inside scoop on things that you can start doing. So when you come out the gate with your certification, you're not working off of just figuring everything out. You already learned for somebody and walk the walk, and you've been active in the field doing it. See, because we have to know that sometimes we have to give up a little bit on the front end. We could gain so much on the back end, but we gain it forever.
Yeah, that's so true, because a lot of times, a lot of us want instant results. That's like planting a seed and digging it up prematurely. You have to let it sink in. You have to nurture it, water it, allow it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, K Plus. I appreciate that. So everyone that's interested in that video on the 5 best skills right now that you should have, it's in the link from K Plus Gaming. I'm sorry, in the chat from K Plus Gaming. So click on it, put it in your watch later so that you can go and just dig into that and subscribe to this man's channel. You're going to learn so much.
And I am amazing. Type of 1 if that answer your questions, just so I know. And if not, I can Make sure, I just want to make sure I get your question answered. And if anybody asks a question, just type a one and make sure that I address your question, because I want to make sure that you get your questions answered because you took your time to come out. So
You
I
are
want to
so
make sure
generous.
that, you know,
I'm looking to see if there was another question in the chat. While I do that, we'll wait for Amazing to answer. Welcome in, everyone that's coming in. We appreciate you being here. We are talking about how to build a mindset, a wealthy mindset. This is part two. If you have not seen the first one, you need to go check it out. It's going to be in the description box and also in a pinned comment that I'm going to put down below after we end this stream. Please share this out with your loved ones. You do not want to build wealth alone. Together, we all achieve more. So, share this out with the people that you want to come up with you. Okay, I think that was it. Are you able to see the chat? I just don't want to make. I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone's question.
yeah, I don't see any other questions.
Okay, I think that's it. All right, so we're down to part what, 4?
Yes, point 4. So
Okay.
point 4 is, and this is the big one here, you have to now monitor your environment. Why is this critical? Because now your environments can dictate. So you could build a network, you can have the skills, you could believe it could be for you, but you're in environments that's working against you. What do I mean by that? So let's just say if you know that you're trying to get out of debt, if that's an issue, but you have a girlfriend or best friend, or you have your homeboy always wants you to go out with them when he go get the newest Jordans, and because you did, you in the store, you go shopping, and now before you know it, you spent money that you didn't have plans on spending, didn't want to spend, and that money could have went towards getting your debt paid off. So you got to control your environments. And here's the thing, you have to know that it has nothing to do with the person making them good or bad. It's just about, you have to control the environments that's not going to allow you to move closer to your financial goals, because your financial goals is personal to you. And because they're personal to you, you can't expect other people to take it personal. Now, I will say this, your true friends will respect that about you and not try to draw you in away from them. They'll let you, push you more towards them. So, and the best example I can give you is when I started my journey, I didn't go out. I just worked. I went to work. Then from work, I went to school. Went from school back home, got back up, did it over again. I did not enjoy the college life that most people talk about. My college life was working full time, going to school full time. I was taking 15 to 16 hour credit hours while working 40 hours plus a week. So I didn't get none of that joy. But the benefit to that was my best friend, and he's still my best friend today, is when I was doing this, he never once tried to get me to go hang out with him. Matter of fact, he used to say, no, you go ahead and go do that. Matter of fact, I should be doing what you're doing, but I'm about to go out to this party right now. but he never tried to make me feel indifferent or feel like I was a square or whatever you want to say, because I wasn't doing the fun stuff. So I consider him my true friend. And that's what a true friend should do. They should still encourage you, even though if it ain't for them, they still should encourage you because it's for you. And I think too many times the environment one is a touchy subject and a touchy piece of mindset, especially building wealth, is because people hold on to relationships that's not conducive to where they're trying to go, because they too many times holding on to something that's holding them back. So we got to now sit back and identify how can we make the changes, because I like to say, even if it's a family member, let's just say it's a parent, then if your parent may not always be negative or necessarily not encouraging to what you're trying to do, Well, you just don't cut them off. But what you do is you limit your communication, your time that they have your ear. Because what most people know about monitoring your environment, the person that has your ear sets the pace for where you're going to go. So you have to be mindful of the stuff that's going in, because when you look at all the 5 senses, the most important sense is your sense of hearing. That's why you can take a blind person and you wouldn't know they're blind unless something showed that they're blind, is because the world operates in frequencies. And because sound is so critical, you have to monitor what goes in. So I say that you have to really take a little snapshot and look at your environment. Now, if you marry and have a significant other, this one could be a little bit challenging, because you may be a saver, they may be your significant other spouse may be the spender, you may be the spender, and they may be the saver. Have it go. Well, you need to now identify your environment. Means that you have to now sit down and have better communication. You got to now communicate on where you want to go financially for the family. And the best way to do it, though, is you have to get them to buy in, the significant other spouse. You got to get them to buy in with the kids on what's in it for them as y'all moving towards y'all financial goals. And if you sit down, you communicate, and you do it, and you try to do the best you can. And you all, I'm not saying this is perfect and this works for everyone. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is something to strive towards. But when you do that, normally if you get the buy-in of the significant other spouse and the kids, they normally is going to be the cheerleaders and champions that can continue to push you forward. So it's so critical that we got to understand our environments can set the pace. So you can do all the other things right, but if you're not in the right conductive and conducive environment, it's almost going to be, you can move up 2 notches and you can go right back to 0. So we want to make sure that we pay attention to that. So anybody got anything on that?
Well said, well said. Oh, I'm seeing some good feedback. Rich stuff, man, rich stuff. And hey, Rudy, good to see you. Okay, so it looks like you did answer the question, and apparently somebody else had the same question, because we're seeing more than one once. But anyway,
Okay.
how do I get rid of people nicely? I don't want to be mean.
You just limit communication. Just mention to them that what you're going after, and tell them, because you really focus on what you're going after, and tell them that right now you just focus on what you're trying to do. And when you communicate, just say, hey, I appreciate, I'm working with my time management also. So when I'm working with my time management, I limit time in certain things, is because I'm moving towards a goal, and it's very important to me. And the way you can help me is just at least allow me the appreciation and respect for me to hit my goal. It doesn't mean that
say just leave me alone. That's how you can help me.
Right. So because you got it, because here's the thing, good people going to appreciate you they know where it's at, because they're going to become your champions. If they really for you, they normally stand behind you and be like, okay, well, I know that you got to go study, or you got the certification you're working on, but I just wanted to say hello, see how you was doing. I appreciate you, but if you get some free time, just text me.
Yeah. No, I respect that, and I hope that answers your question, because
because I think it's a way to do it, because I always look for, I think too, and this is what I mean by the environment, because we sometimes think that it's a bad thing to let people know that we're going after something, but we never think about when we share it, one, we're making it become part of the world. You put it out in the world, meaning you're serious about it, but 2, we never think about these will be the same people that's going to champion behind us. But also what we never think about is these be the same people that's going to introduce you to somebody that may become part of your network.
Yeah, because they know what you're doing. That's true. That's true. And that can also work in the opposite way, depending on who you're dealing with. Because some people, they're sending out negative vibes for your failure. Like, okay. he's never going
Right.
to make it, So know who you're speaking to. Be very careful.
But you're going to identify that when you do that.
You know what? That's true too.
so so
That's true
so
too.
so you're doing two things at once. You identifying the people that's going right behind you and help press you forward, but you also identifying the people that was chameleons that you thought was for you, but they really not.
Yeah. Truth be told, yeah. That's exactly right. Facts, facts, facts. But I just love you, man. All right. Was there any more questions in the chat? I think we're good on questions. Somebody saying I dig it. We hope everyone is feeling welcome as we talk about how to build a wealth mindset. Yeah, you're going to have to thin out your network here and there, and you see who's for you and who's not for you. You can have the best friend in the world, but they're just not on your vibration at this point. So you're just going to have to let go a little bit. And you could do it nicely, like Tim was saying. It's a nice way of saying, just leave me alone. I got to do what I got to do. And let me tell you, it's not easy sometimes to do these things. Like he was saying, he was in college, his friend wants to go party, and he wanted to study. I mean, it's not easy. You have to be committed and disciplined to do certain things. So if you're ready for it, go for it. If you feel like you want to be ready for it and you need help, reach out, find a coach, someone that's going to be in your corner to help you stay grounded and steady and focused. Okay? All right. What else you got for us tonight, my friend?
Yeah, and if anybody got any particular, like, because we on the stream and we only have so much time, but if you got any particular questions as it relates to this, definitely shoot me an email. We could talk about it.
Drop your email in the chat. Yeah, drop your email. And he also Instagram. His Instagram information is in the description box. You could connect with him and send him a message on Instagram. Take advantage of this. Not everyone makes himself available to help the community like this. So I'm not saying go bombard him with questions now. He's a busy man. Maybe one or two questions. That's it. And it's totally up to him. But, you don't want to.
Yeah, I dropped it in the private chat. So, yeah. Okay. So, let me see. But love is the answer. Type of 1 if that kind of help you out. And if not, type of 2. And we'll see if we can go a little bit deeper. And then I got a bonus thing about wealth. We got some time. I got a bonus thing
we got about 10 minutes. Let's get that bonus in. And I put for those of you that are coming after, I'll put his email in the description section as well. But I just dropped it in the chat, guys. Go right ahead, Tim.
All right, and then the last point is you got to learn finances. You have to learn. You don't have to learn it to the level of someone like myself, but you got to learn just some of the basics of finances for yourself. And the reason why is because if you're going to, you can do it one of two ways. You learn it yourself or you pay somebody else. But I'm just one to still believe is you're going to pay, if you work hard for the money, you should understand something about your own money. If nothing else, I said you should be able to do these 3 things. If you open up one of your quarterly statements from your 401k, 403b, 457 plan, your Roth IRA, whatever it may be, you should be able to do these 3 things, and I think you'll be good. One is you should know who is the custodial of your account. And the custodial just means who is the investment company you invest the money with. So it's whoever the company name is that's on the envelope or on the paperwork when you open it up. That's called the custodial, because they have a custodial authority over the money. That's one. The second thing is you should know the rate of return, the ROI on your money, the interest that you're making on your money in the percentage. Whether it be you got 10% interest over the last 12 months, 3% over the last quarter, whatever it may be, you should know the interest rate that they're paying you. And the last thing is you should know one of the investment funds that you invested in. So if I was to say, what are you invested in? You should be able to say, I'm in the, what is one? I can't even think of one off the top. I'm in the SPY ETF. Okay, so that means that the reason why these 3 things are so important because they at least let me know you are paying attention to your money. too many times we have retirement accounts, 401k, 403b, 457 plans. We have Roth IRAs. We have brokerage accounts, Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Webull. We have all these accounts, but we don't even look at them. We don't even know exactly what our money is doing. And we should know these things. And then if we decide to go to a financial planner, a financial CPA, financial planner, whatever the case may be, a tax attorney, a tax preparer, we should know basic things about what they're doing and how they're managing our money. So one, we cannot come back and say that they lost my money and messed up my money. The only way that's really valuable is if we not paying attention. And two, the way you should hire one and know if you got a great CPA, financial planner, financial analyst, whatever it may be, is if in the same process they're managing and helping you, they also teaching you. So every time you meet, you should your takeaway should be greater than before you actually sat down with them, meaning they should be teaching you something. But if you only sit down with them and you come out, they talk over your head, you don't have no takeaways, then I personally don't recommend that's the best probably person for you. Because the goal is to transfer knowledge so you can have an understanding of your money. So that's what I say. You definitely want to make sure that you learn finances, because in the spaces I've evolved around now, there's nobody in this space that don't have a basic understanding of finances, because they know that if they work hard for the money, it's up to them to maintain it. It's not for them to just pay somebody and think they're going to do everything for them. Because the thing about us as people, we all have flaws. So the goal is, that's why you want to build a team. And the last plug, this is going to be a plug, Charlene. That's why you need a Tim on your team, a tax person, an investment person, and a money person. That way you can't go wrong.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, shoot, Playtime is saying that sounds complicated. And you know what? I get it. Like the average person, we're not educated unless you're in that financial industry. You're not aware of certain terms. So if you're working with someone that's in that industry and they're not helping you to understand because they're using all the verbiage and stuff that's associated with, the investments, just ask them, can you say this in English? Because it's like you're speaking to a scientist in a way. And sometimes they don't do it on purpose just because they're so into the industry. It's not like they're just trying to talk over you. It just may be that, they're so in that vibration that they forget that you may not understand certain things. So ask them to break it down. If they can't break it down in a way that you understand, just to the left, get somebody else, someone that will keep it simple for you. Because you want to understand what's happening. And I have to admit, there's a lot that I don't understand in the financial world because of all these scary words and things that, and you have to find the time to educate yourself. Like I took a course in investment and there was so much different terminology and all that. But you know what? It was worth the sacrifice. Now I call myself the lucky investor because sometimes I invest intuitively. Like I look for companies that are giving back to the environment and these kind of things. But I also do a little more research because you don't just want to be a goody two-shoe. You want to make sure that they're going to be solid and this kind of thing. But the lucky investor, but you don't want to do it like I do. Go deeper and deeper with your knowledge on finances. It couldn't hurt. I was up for hours in the morning, like, because they're on, I think UK time or Dubai time. So it's a big difference. So for me to do the course, I had to be up from like 1 or 2 in the morning till about 5 for 5 days, 2 to 5 days straight. And you know what? It was worth it. I gained so much knowledge, and that's just a scratch. There's so much more to learn, but I'm like, I don't know. I think I'd rather just, after a while, when I get to a certain point, maybe just pay someone that I know is capable of doing the investments for me. Just let them handle that. And then I'll have my personal thing that I handle. And then I kind of compare and see, okay, did I beat you or did you beat me? You know what I mean? Right. Just for the heck of it.
and I say this too. So it does sound complicated. But I say the easiest thing that we all can do is if you have retirement plan is just get your quarterly statement. By law, they have to send you a quarterly statement. You can either have it come in the mail or you can have it emailed to your email on file. And all you do is open it up and just start reading it. And if nothing else, pick 2 words up there you don't know and go online and research the definition. That's a good place to start.
Now that's
Because
some
at
great advice.
least it shows that you're opening up the mail and you're reading the mail. It's so many people that I talk with that when I ask them what are they investing in their retirement, they don't know. And I ask them how much do they have in their retirement, they don't know. When I ask them what they invested in, they don't know. And we should not put our retirement on autopilot and act like it's a dice game or a Russian roulette game at Vegas. We're doing our own selves a disservice. So I say, if nothing else, the easiest thing we can do is grab our retirement statement, open it up, look at the interest rate, and then find 2 or 3 terms, and it's going to be normally 2 to 3 pages. Find 2 or 3 terms in those 2 or 3 pages that you don't know what it is, and go online and research.
Exactly. That's some solid advice. And you're right. A lot of people, they don't even know what they're investing in or understand it. Before I got into the financial world a little bit, I wasn't even sure what it was. I just thought it was like, oh, you guaranteed this money. Then I come to realize, oh, they're just taking your money and investing it for you. And guys, you can also do this for yourself. You could, I believe it's on Stash. You can have a portfolio just for retirement, and you can go in there and invest in your own stocks that you want to invest in, EFTs and these different things. So start researching how to do that. So you can start your own retirement plan on Stash. And I believe I have a link to Stash in my description section for those of you who may need that. Go ahead and do it. And you can start with $5. If you feel like you don't have a lot of money and all that, start with $5. Start where you can. And that's a good way to, maybe when you don't have a lot of money, to kind of practice a little bit, $1 here, $1, and you kind of get a feel for the market and keep your emotions out of this. I had to learn this, Tim. The market is going to go up and it's going to go down. Don't get nervous when it goes down. That's a sale. Who gets nervous when there's a sale? Who gets unhappy when there's a sale? That's a sale. That's a time to choose wisely where you want to buy into. But that's a whole other topic. Maybe Tim could come back and talk to you guys about stocks. He's more versed in that area. So I don't want to talk about the stuff that I don't know.
No, but you're doing good. But first thing, you all, just remember this. This is for information purposes only. This is for information purposes only. Right. Please make sure you consult with your individual CPA, financial planner, tax advisor for your particular needs. This is for information purposes only. But yes, but no. It's not like a commercial. I like to say though. I love it. Go ahead. But playtime, put a 1 if that kind of made it a little bit. If that helped a little bit, type of 1 if type of 2 if not. But yes, and then yesterday I did a quick stream yesterday where I really broke down places people could put their money during a recession versus them just saving cash, putting it under the pillow, putting it under the mattress, putting it in the shoebox, or just keeping it in their checking a savings account where they can get an online money market account, at least making 3% interest on their money. So yeah. Now, some people say, well, that's not a lot of money, don't outpace inflation. But let me ask you, would you rather get 3% or no percent?
Exactly. Which is pretty much what you're getting at most regular banks.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Right. The average regular bank interest rate right now is 0.01%. Some you may get 0.02%, but about 0.1%. I looked it up.
When I got to understand, and guys, if for nothing else, you want to take an investment course just to understand how certain things work. Because I didn't know when you're putting your money in the bank that they're taking your money and investing it and getting so much returns. Yes, they're taking a risk and all that, but usually they're getting a lot of returns, and they're giving you, like, I don't even want to say the scraps. You're not even getting scraps. from the money that you're putting in. So take your money and invest for yourself, but educate yourself first and invest for yourself, because this is what they're doing with your money anyway. I'm
So
just saying.
I'm gonna add to that. So in essence, what they're doing is you take your money, you put in your bank or credit union. In that same bank or credit union, so let's just say you put $100 in your bank or credit union, they're gonna take your 100 and they're gonna loan it to somebody else in the form of a credit card. The average credit card interest rate is 16.65%.
Not even now. It's
So
over
let's say
24
you,
now. Shoot.
huh?
I said not even as higher now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they got some as high as right now on 36%. But
What? I
yeah, they
haven't
got some
seen that
credit
one
cards as high as 36%. But so if you put your $100 in, they're gonna pay you 0.01% on your money, but they're gonna loan it to somebody else on a credit card, and they're gonna at least at a bare minimum make 16.65%.
Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I hope this open up your eyes, people. That said, we're gonna ask Tim a question we always ask everyone that comes on the show. What is some wisdom? Words of wisdom that you can leave for everyone listening now and after? What advice can you give based on the things we've spoken on? Wealthy mindset.
So the advice I want to give, because I didn't get too much into it, is this: how can you start taking solutions in everything that I talked about? One is you got to start reading books. You got to start getting online, reading some of the financials. When you see the USA Today, you go to Google News, go to the financial section and start reading the financial headlines in the news. Next thing is, now see how that information applies to you individually. And if it don't, then you good. But if it do, then you now got to say, now, how do I not be part of whatever they're stating in that article at that moment? And now that's what should spark you now to go out and seek the heat and start researching and finding information so you can have a better outcome for yourself. And when you do that, you now got to also find a mentor, somebody that can walk you through. So now you can come to Charlene, myself, and there's a vast array of others, and we can now continue to prime the pump and continue to build off of the fundamental information that you have. And in the process, you building out a network. So that's some of the things that I say you could do. I say, here's the great thing. It doesn't matter about where you come from, doesn't matter about your background, doesn't matter about your education level. All that matters is, are you willing to do the due diligence and take 30 minutes of fun time and turn it to 30 minutes of learning time? And then after you learn, you execute something. With that being said, this is Tim, also known as the Intentional Millionaire. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate Charlene for inviting me over. I always enjoy coming over, trying to give the best that I got, because I'm genuinely here to help. And we all deserve our fair share of the financial pie, and you dictate what that may be for you. So with that being said, that's all I have, Charlene. What you got for me?
I got nothing but love for you, baby. What you got? I was like, I just have to be silly sometimes. That's just who I am. Y'all better know. Tim, thank you so much, my brother, for coming and hanging with us tonight and for spitting some nuggets. Everyone in the chat, you're a superstar. Everyone coming after, you're a superstar. Share this with someone today. Help to get this knowledge to reach people that may need it. I became aware of certain things tonight, and I'm grateful, and I hope you did too. Let me just read some of your stuff real quick in the chat. Let's go. I dig it. Yeah, I dig it too. Someone is telling us the time. Thank you for that. Great advice. Thank you, K Plus. Oh, sounds complicated. We read that already. Oh, and Playtime did say 1, and much appreciation. Thank you, tons. Wow, didn't know why Playtime, but you didn't know. I'm guessing it must be the bank stuff. Thank you. Please come back. And I learned so much, y'all. That's what we love to hear, that you learn something new or you're reminded of something you already knew, because a lot of times we know stuff, but we kind of forget. So I hope this was a reminder for some of us. And listen, man, don't give up. You're already wealthy. You just have to become aware of it and allow for things to happen naturally. Plant your seeds. Don't try to dig them up prematurely. Do your what do you call it? Pay your dues or do your time or whatever it is you need to do to get your stuff, to build your momentum. You got this. And reach out to Tim. He's there to help, support, and guide you. I believe you have a mentoring program, right, for people that want to go through.
I haven't launched it yet, but if people reach out to emails right now, I definitely see if I can respond and get them some answers via email.
Okay.
And my emails are gonna be clear, crisp, and concise. I don't do long emails. I do precise and concise emails.
I mean, who got
So
time for that? To the point. That's right. I
well, I'm
love
not a
it.
long text or a long type, as you can tell.
That's what you just get to it. So thank you, everyone. Y'all have a good night. Stay abundantly blessed. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, stay wise. Thanks again, Tim.
All right, thanks
Oh,
everyone. Thanks, Charlene. Peace.